What's up, everyone? I'm Sebastian. I'm here with Harry and Nash, Blitz veterans. How are you going, fellas?
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
10 out of 10.
So you have 2 shows coming up in September, 2 live shows with the Sydney Fringe Festival. How are you feeling?
Nervous. Very nervous. On stage is not my forte. This is why I hide behind a microphone. But for Nash, I think he'd love every day if he was on stage.
Yeah, I don't mind being on stage. I just have a problem with being on camera.
Right.
You know, the red light fever, that's what gets me.
Mm-hmm.
So this is more nerve-wracking for me than actually being on stage.
Okay.
But I'm very excited for us to, take our show, take our podcast and, put it on the stage. It's
Yeah.
be cool.
All right. Well, for those who haven't been listening, you're missing out. But also, what is the show
Oh,
about?
you're too kind, Seb. You're too kind, mate. The show is a weekly history podcast. So each week we go back and we look at the key events that shaped that week in history. Is that a fair description?
Yeah, it's about right. We try and make it interesting because I know quite a few people in history class. It's not for everyone. So we try and tell you the best bits that are interesting so that when you're at a cocktail party, you're just like, hey, do you know what happened in 1805?
Yeah.
Well, I do. Let me buy
What happened in 1805?
Okay, don't put me on the spot. I don't know exactly. It's happened.
Yeah.
Things happen.
Mhm.
Okay.
So going back a little bit in history, how did you two meet each other?
Oh, our history.
How did this come together? How did Harry and Nash come to be?
We're here at the Blitz offices, and this is where we met. I was hosting a podcast.
Stop. Let me tell them.
Okay.
It was Tinder.
All right.
Yeah,
You both swiped right and it was meant
hilarious.
to be.
I was hosting a podcast program, delightfully obscure, and Harry approached us with the idea to create Blitz Radio. And so the two of us, we co-created it and co-managed it last year.
Yeah.
And then we went our separate ways. We went our separate ways. from
Unmatched on
Blitz.
Tinder.
And then we swiped right on the history podcast premise.
Yeah.
And we've been doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I think when we were thinking about this, we were thinking, what is something that we want to learn about?
Yeah.
What's something good for us to know? And we're like, you know what? History. We know nothing about that. I think people would be interested about that. So then we just kind of gave it a crack.
Yeah.
Seems to work all right.
Yeah.
So how long exactly have you been doing this before you were born podcast?
The podcast itself has been around for about 8 months, thereabouts.
And then before that, how long were you doing radio in general?
Well, I guess technically 2 years
Yeah.
for me.
I've been doing it for about 3 years now.
Okay.
A lot of community radio.
Oh, so you got a fair bit of experience behind you, relative to your age at
Not
least.
good experience, but experience.
Everything
yeah.
counts,
It all counts.
as they say on Tinder as well. Anyway, so you also recently got picked up by Nova Entertainment, which is pretty big news as well. How did that come about for you guys?
We entered a contest called PodQuest. Essentially, it's like the X Factor for podcasts. We didn't win, but after that, they approached us and they were like, yo, we reckon you guys are pretty hectic.
Yeah.
And
In those exact words.
those exact words.
Right.
And so they asked us to make a couple of pilots, and we did. And now it's available on Acast, so you can check it out. Still called Before You Were Born. The format has changed a bit, but